I'm assuming you can follow the tab or the standard notation from the beginning of the video well enough to learn the notes on your own, so rather than going note by note, we're going to talk about chord shapes, fingerings, and techniques that'll make this easier to play. If you do need some help reading tab, I have a video on that topic that'll get you up to speed. I'll leave a link for that in the description. Also in the description, you'll find a link for ordering a PDF of this arrangement. I'm going to be playing chord melody style with a pick, but you could easily play this with your fingers. First four measures we have C chord, A minor, D minor, and G, but we need to alter those chords to accommodate the melody. Sometimes that means we need to add a finger, sometimes that means we need to take a note away. At the beginning we have a C chord, and we're adding a finger because our melody note is the G on the 3rd fret, 1st string. Next measure we have an A minor. This time we're leaving a note out. Normally you strum down through the 1st string, but this melody note is on the 2nd string, so we only play through the 2nd string. Same thing with this D minor. We only strum through the 2nd string, at least on that 1st beat. And then we add 1st string to that. And then we have this G chord at the end of this phrase. Normally you put a finger on the 1st string for the G chord, but in this case the melody note is an E, that's your open 1st string, so we're not going to put a finger down there. We let that note be the melody note, and then I am going to put my 4th finger down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, the D, for our melody note there. Next phrase starts the same as the first phrase, so we have that C with the G on top. And we also have this A minor strumming through the 2nd string because that's where the melody is. Now we have a G chord, and we have our melody note on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, that's the D. So we're going to strum through the 2nd string, and then we have a melody note open 1st string, and then back to the 2nd string again. And then playing to a C chord that is, strumming only through that C which is on the 2nd string. Next section we have a lot of double stops. Double stops is when you're playing 2 notes or 2 strings at the same time. There's a couple ways you could do this. If you're playing finger style, you just use separate fingers. And if you're playing with a pick, of course you can just strum each string. And what I did in a playthrough was I used hybrid picking. Hybrid picking is when you're using a pick and you're using your fingers. In this case I'm using my pick to play the lower sounding notes and my fingers to play the higher sounding notes. Whichever technique you use, there are some things you can do with the fingerings here that'll make this a little easier to play. So we're starting with our 1st finger on the 3rd fret 1st string, which is a G, and our 3rd finger is on an E, which is the 2nd string 5th fret. To get to this next double stop, all you have to do is take those same fingers and slide them down 2 frets. And then we need to be ready to move 1st finger to the 2nd string while 1st string is open. Now in this next little move, we're going from the C and E to a B and a D. All you have to do really here is slide your 1st finger over to the D, 3rd fret, and put your 2nd finger down. So we have this. We slide over, add your 2nd finger. And then to this next double stop, all you have to do is take those same 2 fingers and move them down 2 frets. And that last double stop is just 2 open strings. And then the next spot we have some more double stops, this time with fingers 2 and 3. And then open strings, and and then fingers 1 and 2, and then finger 2 and open. And then we're moving to playing chords again. We have a G7 chord. We're strumming all the way through the first string because that's our melody note. And strumming all the way through the C chord that is. And then putting our finger down for our melody note D, 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then we have an A minor, strumming only through the 2nd string. G over B through the 2nd string. And I've got a video on slash chords, so you might want to check that out. And then we go to a C chord, but be ready to move your first finger to the melody note on the 1st string. Now we have a G chord, but we're altering the G chord. We're putting the melody note on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, that's a D. And then moving that pinky to the G, because that's the next melody note. I want to back up to the A minor and the G over B again. What I like to do there is I put a little separation after each of those chords. And then move on. The reason for that is because of the lyrics. The lyrics there are, beautiful is the mother. And I like to put little pauses between the ahs. So, It doesn't say to do that in the music, but it helps if you know the lyrics. You can add some phrasing that you might do if you were singing. Anyway, so from that A minor over, and then the G over B, we go to that C, and then C chord, and 4th finger down, and then we have that A minor and G over B again, and again I put that little separation in. C chord, 1st finger melody, altered G chord with our 4th finger on the D, moving to the 1st string, and the last chord is a C chord, and we're strumming only through the 2nd string because that's our melody note. And that was Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella. Have fun with this, and don't forget to check the description to see where you can order the PDF. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more guitar tips and arrangements.